can I ask you now to put your hands together for Mark Bannister, who's going to be our first panelist this evening. So I have to, first of all, thank Mark, because he's stepping into the breach as Matt from The Guardian is in the House of Commons tonight, got called in on some quite important legislation. So Mark has stepped in at very short notice, which makes him a particular friend of mine. But Mark is the Sustainability and Projects Manager at Echo Sourcing. And you're right in the eye of the storm of what is Bangladesh at the moment. And as we know, many of the best solutions come out of crises. Mm-hmm. But tell us, Mark, a little bit about Echo Sourcing. It's not a business that many in this room will be familiar with.
Yes, well, probably nobody has heard of us, I should imagine. We are a privately owned small to medium-sized garment supplier and retailer. And we supply many UK retailers here, clothing retailers, mostly high street. And we also supply a couple of European retailers as well. We have been in operation since 1996, when the business was started by the two founders. We've grown now from the original 2 people up to employing over 10,500 people between here in the UK and in Bangladesh. We started off as a sourcing house, garment sourcing house, and we now source products from our owned factories in and around the capital of Bangladesh, Dhaka.
So you're all in Bangladesh?
Yeah.
And last year, Rana Plaza, loss of 1,000 lives, really put the spotlight on Bangladesh. What's that done to the garment manufacturing industry in Bangladesh?
Yeah, it's been a really interesting one, because when the founder set up the business, he set it up with the premise that he wanted to become the most ethical and sustainable manufacturer in Bangladesh. And he, over the years, from when he set up his first factory in 2004, when the kind of foundations were laid for that factory, he went out of his way to invest heavily in social and environmental initiatives that at the time weren't on the agenda of anybody really setting up a garment factory in Bangladesh. Going ahead with setting up a zero-discharge effluent treatment plant now, when most factories didn't even have an effluent treatment plant. Going ahead and setting up amazing social initiatives such as providing lunch to all the working staff in the factory, providing leading bonuses to staff at the factory. He did and pioneered this long before others started getting into the game. And 2013, the Rana Plaza incident happened, and it was a massive, massive shock. The whole industry in Bangladesh suddenly became synonymous with unethical production. And that really impacted upon us as a business. Having done things right and tried to do things as well as we possibly could for years, we were suddenly being tarnished with the same brush as others who had operated clearly in an unethical manner. So it was a really challenging time. And coupled with that as well, obviously in Bangladesh in 2013, there were a number of other issues that came to the fore off the back of the Rana Plaza incident, with the wage increases that happened in September, and then the political, election in December, which caused severe challenges. And we would say that was our most difficult trading year as a business. But interestingly, through the Rana Plaza incident, immediately after we had, I would say, at our lead factory, Ecotex in Bangladesh, we had about 15 audits within the course of a 4-week period. And it started to become very frustrating for us and our team, having done things properly for years. And so we've started to look at ways of how we rebuild trust in Bangladesh as a whole, because Bangladesh's perception as a whole impacts upon us as a business, whether we're doing things right or not. So we've been trying to pioneer some initiatives that actually rebuild trust in Bangladesh, not just us.
And what's the role of transparency in rebuilding that trust?
I think we've developed this motto. So we've developed the motto, trust through transparency. And our customers trusted us, and they still do trust us. Immediately after the Rana Plaza incident, many of our clients came to us as a first port of call to say, what the hell do we do? What's going on? And that was very reassuring for us. However, for us, we feel that the only way for Bangladesh as a garment manufacturing country to recover is to become more transparent. There is so much is done in Bangladesh under kind of behind closed doors. It's a very, very difficult trading environment, and we find that day in, day out, we never really get to the bottom of things, even within our own factories. And that's something we have to deal with. But for us, transparency is absolutely crucial in rebuilding Bangladesh, the perception of Bangladesh.
And so give us examples of what you're doing within your company, which is delivering transparency.
So something that we were actually working on before the incidents in 2013 is that the current mechanism for our clients, which are retail brands, the current mechanism they utilize for understanding how we operate is an audit. An audit is a snapshot in time conducted once in a year where they get pretty much falsified information. I don't want to say too much, but it's not exactly the most robust way of measuring performance. So brands understand that as well, I feel, but they need a way to actually measure the performance of their supply chain. And at the same time, audits are really impacting upon our staff. At one point, as I said, we had, I think, 13 or 14 in a period of 4 weeks. So we made the decision to develop with a partner a platform that enabled us to extract key ethical and social environmental data from our factory, and then gather that on a regular real-time basis, and then to be able to gather that into a platform and into what's the word we used earlier? Dashboard.
Yes.
That's it. In order to present that in a way that is clear for the customer to see, get a snapshot at any period of time on what our ethical and environmental performance is.
This is real-time data.
It is real-time. So we're updating the key metrics on a monthly basis, and then we're hoping to add in some actual real-time live data to provide kind of that trust. And we feel that giving a transparent insight into our operations will give the customer the ultimate kind of feeling of trust that they are doing the right thing.
And do you see a link between the transparency you're putting in there and investing in and the value of your business? Does it help?
Yeah, it's hard to say with what the project I just explained, but this operating in a transparent manner is the way the business has always operated. And we have found that our customers come to us. We're by no means the cheapest in Bangladesh, but our customers come to us because they get holistic value. They don't just get the cheapest product, they get a good quality product. They know it's being made in an ethical and sustainable manner. And they can come to us for advice. So one of our clients is currently growing, I think, in the last year at 23%, and they've only got a supply base that can sustain a growth of 16%. And they are desperate for the really good factories to invest. And they are investing a lot of time and a lot of effort in the really good factories. And they're slowly weeding out the really bad ones. And it's difficult for us to say, but the Rana Plaza incident for us as a business has been financially positive, because we have seen an effect that has customers are starting to come to us because they know they need to be with reputable suppliers.
Great. Well,